How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 26 of Triple Threat Talk. I know last week was basically a mini episode. It was similar to a full episode, but it just wasn't. I wasn't in the right energy. I didn't have the right energy. Wasn't in the right headspace, whatever it may be. But this is the beginning. Not really the beginning. It's just a continuation of Triple Threat Talk. It's not dead, all right? I know a lot of people were wondering, is it dead? It's not. It just isn't. Why? It won't die. As long as I'm alive. No. Past couple weeks, I've decided to take a little bit of a break because All-Star Weekend, and it's just I've been doing this pretty consistently for the last couple months. But I made the video. I made the last episode basically addressing what the future of Triple Threat Talk will look like. If you didn't listen to that one, you don't have to, because I'm going to sum it up pretty clearly of like what I tried to say in last video in this one. Okay. First things first. Triple Threat Talk won't die. Whether it's going to be me posting stupid predictions on my Instagram, whether it be me giving takes on Twitter, whatever it may be, there's going to be some sort of iteration of Triple Threat Talk around forever. Will it be full podcast lengths? I don't know, but some sort. But long story short, I think the plan is moving forward. I am going to, as of right now, and by right now, I literally mean in my headspace right now at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, March 1st. I am just going to do one episode a week for right now. Now, that is purely because of the new job I'm starting. When April rolls around, I think I am going to do twice a week when the playoffs are on, and I'm going to be watching them much more attentively. So I think that makes sense. But in reality, it's just hey, we're going to try once a week. We're going to see how it goes. Today is a really good episode to see how it will go. But just in reality, it's more so just like I do really enjoy making these. I love talking about basketball. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing to talk about, or one of my favorite things to talk about. But it also is just a lot to make these. It takes me about probably an hour and a half to prep all my notes. It probably takes me, and then it takes me another 2 hours to record, or another hour and a half, 2 hours to record these, and then it ends up just being another hour and a half, 2 hours of video editing, and then it's just like, all right, do I have all that time? Yes and no. I like how I'm gonna start divvying it up, where it's like when I'm gonna record, when I'm gonna edit, and stuff like that. But it's just because of the new job, which doesn't start until next week. I'm gonna just see how once a week goes. If I feel like, oh, I can actually do this 2 times a week, then I will go to 2 times a week, kind of things. Just see how the water finds its level, kind of things. But yeah, I know it's been a while since an actual full episode. I know it's been a while since just a lot of the stuff where it was like, all right, here's a normal episode, where it's like the recap, the news, whatever it may be. And I do really enjoy it. It's just a lot of time, and I'm not getting paid for it. And if I was, then it'd be completely different. Then I'd have better equipment, I have better this, better that, whatever it may be. I just don't have the resources as of right now to really acclimate all of my time to being this. I'm unfortunately not in the position of a Jason Timpf, who has all the access in the world to the tools and the programming that he needs. He just needs to put it out there, and that's what he does. Very good at his job. Keith Smith, another really good example. Just these really good at explaining basketball people who know the product that they need to put out, and they have the equipment and the technology to do so. Right? You don't have that unless you get paid, or unless you're really unless you're getting or even if it's your side hustle sort of thing. Like, I know this is going to take time and everything, and by episode 26 I wasn't really expecting anything, but it is just like, hey, it takes time. It's not the easiest thing for me to do. This isn't a full-time job. This isn't my job, so I need to make up for it with other stuff. So that's just, I guess, where the state of I am is in terms of what this will be, really, more so than just instead of me saying like this is the end. Wow, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, but no, it's not dead. It's just I wanted a little bit of a break, I didn't want to just. I was enjoying watching NBA games, like, and the way that this is only going to stop is if I stop enjoying the NBA. If I'm going out there every night watching games and I say, yeah, I don't like this product, then I'm going to stop. That is going to be the, all right, let's just go back to becoming a fan again. All right. So I guess that is what I want to say about that. Don't be concerned. I'm okay. I know none of you were concerned, but it's just a heads up of what it will look like for the future. Speaking of enjoying the game, first bit of news. I think we need to have a talk. And if this is your first time coming across an episode, welcome. Please enjoy, like and subscribe, follow, comment, whatever it may be. Follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter, follow the TikTok. I'll put them in the link below, or at least the usernames. Go give them a follow. But we need to have a discussion about enjoying what we cover as media analysts or as sports people in general. Sports are an ever-changing landscape. They're constantly moving. It's never going to stay the same. Whether that be literally sport to sport. ESPN is not going to spend the 500 plus million it will cost to pay the MLB for their rights. So they won't have Sunday Night Baseball anymore. They're doing less and less coverage of baseball, ESPN specifically. Other broadcasts are stepping their game up. Other broadcasters are bringing their game down. Like ESPN is using a lot of their money now for the NBA and all the college basketball, all the college football, whatever it may be. But you get to talk. But talking about sports is something that, if you are looking to do it, then you should do it. Like, if you have the knowledge, if you have the understanding of the game, then you should do it. Absolutely. But one thing I can't stand is when hate is fueled into the product. Okay? There's only been, at least in my lifetime, or in my true memory of fandom, there has only been one person who has exerted hate into the NBA landscape, and that is Donald Sterling. There's Donald Sterling with everything that went on with the Clippers before he sold them to Steve Ballmer. Now, I know that's a stark contrast of what I'm actually going to talk about, but it is a discussion to be had, for sure. Why is it, with the NBA specifically, that the media terrorizes its own product more and more? In the NFL, you'll have conversations about, is so-and-so like really that great? But you also have the conversation of, no, like, he's great. It's just this one thing that if he worked on, or if like he did a little bit better, he'd be good. And then you have the MLB with MLB Network more specifically, where it's like, oh, I love what the Red Sox are doing. I love what the Brewers are doing, like bringing in these pieces. Oh, the Yankees beefed up their bullpen, but they might have lost some people in hitting, but they beefed up their rotation as well. Whatever it may be. I don't really care. There is no worse. You would assume, actually, sorry. There is no worse thing to listen to than the nightly news. The second worst might be NBA analysts talking about the NBA. If you like, when you turn on the news, if you want to start and end your day with depression, go turn on the news. Obviously, news incredibly helpful. Helps with the traffic, helps with weather, whatever it may be. 90% of the stuff on the news ain't good stuff. Ain't good stuff. You'll never hear it. You won't hear it. 90% of the stuff you see on NBA media or NBA Twitter or whatever it may be, not really that great stuff. It's not so much it's bad stuff, it's more so stuff that is taking away from players and their opportunities. Okay? Let me, and this is the real discussion that I wanted to get into, is the face of the league discussion. Jason Tatum is one of my favorite players in the NBA. He will probably go down as like the player who I got to watch when I grew. Jason Tatum is going to go down as a top 30 player in NBA history. Like, I hope people understand that. I hope people are aware of that. Like, if, say hypothetically, he ends his career with a MVP, another championship, and everything like that, with the scoring numbers he is on and the projection that he is on, he's going to get 30,000 points, or is at least projected to. He will be probably a 10-time first-team All-NBA player. Probably maybe all defensive. I don't know. With how the game is changing and how it's positionless now and everything like that. I don't know. And I think he and Jaylen Brown will go down as one of the best duos in NBA history. Now, what has he done? And this is a genuine question to people. What has he done to really go out and tell people, hey, don't like me? If you were to take away his jersey and take away the name, and you were to say, hey, before you turn the age of 27, and you, like, if you went up to anybody and you said, hey, you're an NBA player, before the age of 27, you're going to have 13,000 points, an NBA championship, an Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Sure, it may not be from the year that you won the championship, but still an Eastern Conference Finals MVP nonetheless. You're going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals about, I think, 5 of your first 7 seasons, maybe 6 of your first 8. I can't remember the exact number. You're also going to make 4 All-NBA teams, 3 of which are first-team All-Pro, and they're all consecutive. And you're going to make it a 4th this season. You're going to be a 5 or 6-time All-Star. I can't remember exactly. And you're also going to have the most wins since 2020 out of any NBA player in the league. If you went up to anybody and said, that's how your career starts, I think every single person saying, please, I'd love that career. I would die to have that career, let alone it being your first 6-7 years in the league. So, and I know this is going to sound like I'm a Boston fan. It's because I am a Boston fan. Why do we hate on him so much? Because he has dreams? Because he has goals? Or it's because he's corny? Oh, everything that makes Jason Tatum a great basketball player is because of his basketball skills and the person that he is. Everything that, according to the internet, makes him a bad basketball player is all not true. There's a literal tweet of somebody who said, I wish if Jason Tatum had 70% of the personality that Anthony Edwards has, he would have, like, he would easily be face of the league. Do you know what the personality of Anthony Edwards is? I love Anthony Edwards, great basketball player, nonetheless. Baby mamas and abortion stuff. That'd be the personality. And what, like, not extremely likable every second of the day? It is purely because of the jersey. It's because he plays for the Celtics. Like we all know the stereotypes of Boston and it being racist. Am I going to deny those? No, because some of them are true. Now, is it all Boston people? No, but it's there. We've seen too many cases of it, and it's there. But for that to be your reason, it's like, you can pick a better reason. You know? Like, it doesn't really seem we are going in the direction, like, and LeBron put it best. He's like, well, why would anybody want to be the face of the league if this is the discussion that they're getting? You are watched on a microscopic level already. Now do it tenfold. Every move you make is going to get judged. Everything you do, it's going to get judged. Here's the thing. In 20 years from now, people are going to look back and say, Jason Tatum is one of the best players of all time. Why, like, what is it with Deuce? What is it with Big Deuce that people didn't like? You want to know what it is? It's just the fact that he didn't have aura. Okay? Like, it's just, the face of the league is Jason Tatum because he's getting all this hate, he's getting all this direction, he's getting all of this pressure put onto him, and also all the commercials, everything like that. The media is just, it is all just culminating into this. Like, Tatum is the face of the league. Okay? It's not Edwards for now. It's not SGA. It's not Luka. It's not Jokic. It's not Giannis. Sure, you could say the big three still, but right now, the next in line is Jason Tatum. Like, I get it if you don't want to say, like, hey, I don't like this player. That's fine. I never liked Kobe. I respect him. Okay? I don't like Giannis. I respect him. Why? Because they have the rings. Do you want to know who I don't really respect? SGA. Because he hasn't done jack shit. Luka, I have a little bit more respect for. Why? Because he has done stuff. He's proven. Like, he has had 5 years of greatness. SGA is on year 3. Okay, if he does this for 5 more years, then sure, you can say he's better than Tatum. But I just don't think Just because you are better at somebody right now does not mean you are the better basketball. Whoa, that's crazy. Like, SGA was getting compared to Jordan. Like, sure, last time we had a guard who averaged 30 points a game with like 50% shooting was Jordan. Yeah, it's great. But they don't have a ring. No, they don't. Okay, that's pretty interesting. No, I just think it's ridiculous the way that the NBA has decided to almost comatosely handle the aspect of their players. It is not a league in which, oh yeah, like you just take stuff at face value. Like everything is dissected to its core. And it will never make sense. The reason why I brought up the enjoyment of the game is because I don't think analysts should be forced to watch something that they don't want to watch. I don't think Jay Billis is going out there and like, damn it, I have to go watch college basketball. It's like, no, that's like, it's just a crazy point to come across and say, yep, that's the exact answer. It's just not, it doesn't make sense in a league that is as global as the NBA is. It shouldn't be determined by the negativity that is created. I understand negativity sells when it comes to sports. It's never a good thing. Like breaking news is never always a good thing. That's why it's breaking. If it was good news, you would say good news. Hey, here we go. Like breaking news has the implication that is bad. That's why it's called breaking. Okay? I don't have the answer right now, at least, for what the NBA media has to do, but here's a start. Just talk about what you see. Talk about what you see. If you saw a player get shy and defenseless, then tell the world you saw them get shy and defenseless. Let's stop uttering. Let's stop speaking with our ass and start speaking with our brain. Okay? I don't like when you have like certain analysts or certain people just being like, oh, if you take this person, you put him here, they'd be great. It's like, well, yeah, like there are great analysts on Twitter. There are. One of them, Swipe a Cam. I love him. He's a Nuggets fan. He said, yeah, if you put Jokic on the Celtics, he has like 3 rings. Okay, congrats. Do you want a cookie or something? Okay. Guess what? You had the Celtics killer, and then you decided to ship 2 of them away. I know you didn't, but your front office did because you decided. I'm not gonna. Anyway, positivity. Let's reach for it. Okay. In unfortunate news, I know this is a ironic turn of events. We have 3 more pieces of news, and then we're going to get into the games. 3 pieces of news. Victor Wembanyama is out the rest of the season with a blood clot injury in his shoulder. Very unfortunate news. Now, here's the good thing. It was isolated. I think he is going to be okay. It is just something that is going to take time and some rest and just being on blood thinners and just not really trying to rush back into it. Now, what does this do? It takes him out of Defensive Player of the Year. We'll probably go to Jaren Jackson Jr. or Evan Mobley, depending on however the 2 finishes better personally, because obviously the Cavs are going to win the East, and then I don't think the Grizzlies are going to win the West. But I do think in terms of overall defensive impact, I think it should go to Triple J. And here's why. And I know the counter argument can be, you have Zach Edey. He is a rookie. He doesn't understand defensive rotations. He isn't as quick. He's just Zach Edey's going to be Rudy Gobert. Perfect. We found the comp. Evan Mobley benefits from having Jared Allen a lot more, as well as having, I'd say Mobley has the better running mate, where Jaren Jackson Jr. has the better support kind of throughout. What I mean by that is just like defensive support. I think Jared Allen is probably the second or is the third best defender out of those 2 teams. But after that, it's very much like how, in my opinion, if you looked at the 2 teams in the finals last year, it was like, sure, you could, if you really wanted to, you could say Luka and then Kyrie. When in reality, it was Luka, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then Kyrie. In terms of best players. And then it went Derek White, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. It was 5 of the best 7 in the entire thing were the Celtics, but 2 of the best 4, or 2, like in depending on some people, 2 of the best, like the 2 best were on the Mavs. But then the next 5 were on the Celtics. So it's like, I don't really get, how did I even get here again? I don't even know exactly. What was I just talking about? I literally just lost my train of thought. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Evan Mobley. It doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, Wemby is out. What this does hurts the chemistry between him and De'Aaron Fox. Will they be fine? Absolutely. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to sign an extension anyway, so that it will be him and Wemby for sure the next foreseeable future, because I think De'Aaron Fox is only on 1 year remaining of the contract deal. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it also just would allow him, they were making a little bit of a push to get into the play-in, but what this really does now is allow them to kind of reset their picks. I'm going to go to Tankathon real quick and just see the current state of the draft picks for the San Antonio Spurs. They have, let me pull it up exactly. Okay. They have, as of right now, 2 picks in this year's draft, and somehow the Oklahoma City Thunder have 3. Make that make sense. I'm kidding. Okay. So they have, currently the San Antonio Spurs are projected to have 2 first-round picks. In fact, 2 lottery picks. They're projected to have the 9 and the 10 pick, from Atlanta's pick from the DeJounte Murray trade. A fun fact, I just did a sim lottery. The 3rd overall pick is going to San Antonio. So you're either getting Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper. I can't remember that Johnson guy's name out of Texas. But yeah, they're going to get probably 2 top 10 picks, and they're going to be just fine. Now, I just think it gives them, it would have been nice to have Wemby in for the rest of the year, obviously. But it's just if this is the injury blipe that he's gonna, say God forbid, if this is the worst injury blipe of his season, of his career, that's good. It is okay, right? Now, if this is signs to come, then that's not good. Obviously, we wouldn't want that, because we wouldn't want one of the most promising prospects and one of the most talented physical players in NBA history to have a short-lived career like that. So, I don't know. It will be interesting to see how it's handled. Prayers for Wemby, obviously, but we will see. Speaking of other superstar players getting hurt, Joel Embiid shut down for the rest of the season. Now, I think this is the best move the 76ers could have done. It was reported that he needed surgery. It was reported that he and other doctors had been talking about the possibility of shutting down for the season. My question is, why didn't it happen sooner? I think Philly fans are coming to the realization that they are not going to make the playoffs this season. They are 20-38, the 10 seed for the play-in right now. I mean, I say that, yet the Bulls are the 10 seed in the East, and they're 24-36. So they only have 3 games up on them. And so, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make a push. I don't really think they're going to be able to. But, you never know. Paul George and Tyrese Maxey might be able to turn it on. But just with, Joel hurt, and then Jared McCain, a bunch, and then, you just have players like Caleb Martin, Eric Gordon, Andre Drummond. You just have a bunch of players who have always been out for a couple of games. Paul George isn't always consistently there. Tyrese, I'd say, is, your most consistent player. And so with that, it isn't like you have a lot of this control. You just have a lot of imbalance right now. And it's not really going to pursue any further, I guess. I don't know. Also, another reason why I would love if they stayed in that top, in 6th or worst, is because if it's gets in 7th or better, then it's Oklahoma City's pick. So I wouldn't love that. I wouldn't love that. Let me sim another lottery. Boom! Philly's getting the 3rd pick. Sorry. I had a little bit of explosion of... In this one, they just got the 1st pick. Congrats to them. You guys got Cooper Flag. In this one, you get the 7th pick, and Oklahoma City gets your pick. But Portland gets the 1st pick. Shout out Portland. Let's do another. Boom, Washington, 1st pick. Boom, Philly, 2nd pick. Boom, San Antonio, 3rd pick. Let's make trades, people. Let's make trades. Anyway, I'm going to close that. No, but it's just, I think it's the right move. He's just reminded us how much he's in pain. And I'm glad that he is getting it figured out. Hopefully he gets surgery and hopefully he will be okay. Because as much as I don't like Embiid, it's mainly just because he's a Sixers fan or a Sixers player. He's pretty good. I wouldn't like to see his career for only two or three more years. I'd like to see it for at least 6, 7 more years. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? Is that crazy based on age? That isn't crazy. He's 30. So yeah, get the legs taken care of. Okay, we just you don't need to force it, especially at this point in the season. So, last bit of injury news. There's some good news though. Speaking of good news, becoming more of a good news channel. Sorry, I am just cleaning up a typo. Oh, that's awkward. I'll have to pull that up. Anyway, the Knicks get a big defensive key back into their system. Mitchell Robinson returned from injury today, or last night against the Grizzlies, in which the Grizzlies, the Knicks won that one late on a buzzer beater 3 from OG Anunoby. But in last night's contest, he provided 6 minutes or 12 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds with a team high plus 11. So I guess we didn't see anything with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson playing together. This is actually pretty interesting because they ran 10 people in a rotation last night. That's pretty crazy. No, I just think now I'm not going to get incredibly in-depth on my Knicks analysis until the next game because they play the Celtics. But Mitchell Robinson does return, which does help them for sure. But actually, you know what? I might as well just dive in straight into the analysis because we're talking about the Celtics and the Knicks from last Sunday on the 23rd. The Celtics defeated the New York Knicks 118-105. Jason Tatum led the way, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Jaylen Brown, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. And Derek White, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, or 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Sorry for that. For the New York Knicks, Josh Hart, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns, 24 points, 18 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. This was both different yet the same as all the other previous Knicks games. The Celtics got out to a big lead. They took command and control. The Knicks battled their way back. They made it, I think, up to a 4-point game. And then the Celtics woke up and they realized, oh, the game isn't over just yet. And so I think they got up to like another 20-point lead. And then the reason why it's 15 is because of Mikal Bridges having like a mini run kind of thing. Like he scored 8 straight points for the Knicks. And at that point, the Celtics were up 21 at that point. So they were just like, we don't care. Like you can score like 10 if you really wanted to and make it like a single digit lead and we won't care. Oh no, but the Celtics only won by 30. This one was just, as I said, very much the same, very much different. This wasn't the JT only show where I'd say the last two, not like the last two were the JT only show. It was very much the JT lead show where it was like, hey, Tatum is going to get his for the first like 35 minutes of the game. Then you guys will be good and you guys can figure it out. He only had 25 in this one, and I'd say it was more so because of his shooting efficiencies. But Derek White shot really well. Jaylen Brown had a really good game. Drew Holiday shot the ball really well, especially from deep, going 2 of 4. Sam Hauser with some big threes. It was just like, it was the exemplification of the tiers in the NBA. Like, and I think everybody knew this, especially after the beatdown in Madison Square Garden from a couple weeks ago with the Celtics. It like the tier 1 of the NBA is clearly the Thunder, the Celtics, and the Cavs. It is those 3 teams. The step below, it's the Nuggets and the Lakers, where it's like these teams, because of their talent, they have the chance. If there are going to be 2 players on a team that can lead any team, it's going to probably be Luka and LeBron. And if there's going to be one player who can lead anybody, it's Nikola Jokic. All right? And then you have like the next tier where it's like the Grizzlies, because of their play as of late, the Rockets, the Bucks, and the Knicks, where it's like These are top tier teams. It's just they're not at the same time. They have top tier players, or they have the incredible balance. They don't have both. Let's run through each of the top 3 teams. Okay? Thunder. You have your tier 1s. You have your SGA. All right? You got SGA, right? You got Chet and J-Dub. And then you got your fillers. Okay? You got your Lou Dorts, your Aaron Wiggins, your Isaiah Hartensteins, your Cason Wallaces, your Alex Carusos, your other Jalen Williams. For the Cavs, you got your top 4. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. And then you got Sam Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, Max Strus. Like, you got guys who can provide for you. Oh, Ty Jerome. You got 4 or 5 guys for you who can come in off the bench. And when it's really playoff time and your rotation goes from like 10 or 11 to like 8 or 9 pretty consistently, then it's like you got to make sure you know who your 8 guys are. For the Celtics, it's like, I'd say like this year, especially it's like JT, JB, Derek, KP. Those are the main 4. And then it's like Drew, Al, Pritchard, Cornette, Hauser. So, whereas it's like the Knicks, sure, like they may have like a good starting 5, but it's like after that, you don't really have a ton of the like after players. Like I'm not taking campaign over really anybody on any of those other 3 teams. I'm not taking campaign. I'm not taking Mitchell. Like Mitchell Robinson's solid, but he only provides defense that much. So this is a game where we really just got to see the levels of teams in the NBA, and it's the Celtics are there and the Knicks are here. But a much different game for the Knicks as well. This was a much more balanced attack. Karl-Anthony Towns finally woke up in a game. It just wasn't enough. They woke up in the third quarter. They dominated the third quarter. They brought it back to a game within 4. And the Celtics said, all right, fine, we'll try. And then it was just like, there wasn't a difference, So, anyway. For Monday, the 24th, I thought I had another game on here I wanted to cover. I do! Oh, man, I do! Wow. I just forgot to write it down. Because I was going to cover the Bulls and the 76ers, but, like, the Bulls blew them out. The score was 142 to 110, and Embiid didn't play. So I think this was, like, the game that people found out, like, yeah, I think they're going to put Embiid on the bench for the rest of the season. But no. The Minnesota Timberwolves faced off against the Thunder. They won in OT in Oklahoma City. What? Man, that's crazy. Oklahoma City loses. I'll rephrase that. Minnesota wins 131 to 128 in Oklahoma City. Jaden McDaniels led the way for the Timberwolves with 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Terrence Shannon Jr., 17 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Naz Reid, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Anthony Edwards, 17 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, SGA, 39 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. J-Dub, 27.6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And Aaron Wiggins, 19.7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Now, this was Chet didn't play. Hartenstein did, noted. And then this was without Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, and Dante DiVincenzo. Now, here's what I'm going to preface. I am very much in the field that says any team can beat any team. Just depends on how team is going to play. It's just going to be how teams react to certain things, whatever it may be. But no, any team can beat any team. And this is evident. Like, Thunder have had a otherworldly season. Like, they're having one of the best seasons in NBA history. You just lose a game. And everybody's going to react like it's hell. Yep, that's the NBA. But no, it's just, like, you'll have games like this where, and, like, you look at this and you say, the Thunder were up 25. Like, yeah, it was 7 minutes remaining in the third. I get, like, I would rather have this or what the Celtics had last night, where it was like a 22-point lead before the first half, and then they lose it, kind of thing. Then, hey, the Celtics are up 6 with like a minute to go, and they have the ball and they lose. Like, that is statistically impossible at that. You're up 6, right? You hold it for 24 seconds. With a minute left, you hold it for 24 seconds, you get it down to 36. Imagine 6 seconds goes off before they make that three. Okay, so then it's 30 seconds. You're going to get fouled. You probably have 2 shots. Like, unless you're missing both shots, then how are you losing that game? You know? So, I don't know. But no, this is not as nearly as bad of a, it's just, sometimes leads just go away. It's just how it is. Like, I've been on the end of a choke. I've been on the other end of a big comeback. It's just how it is. It's how sports is. Timberwolves are having a really shaky season. I think a lot of that is contributing to just adjusting of play styles. Anthony Edwards was able to take off so much because of Cat's also rise to success. Like, obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns was so good, but it's like we really got to see it last year of like the kind of player that he can truly be. And we also got to see the kind of player that Anthony Edwards is. What do we do? Or what did the Timberwolves try to do? Nah, screw it. We're gonna change it all up. Like, why? Like, why would you? Like, why would you do that? You know, you made it to the Western Conference Finals. Why would you change it up? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But it's just they've been playing better without Julius Randle, which is both good and concerning because I think Julius Randle is going to be wanting some sort of paycheck coming up, and I think unfortunately it's not going to be cheap. I'm currently looking up Julius Randle's contract on probably Spot Track. Yeah. So he signed a 4-year 117 with the Knicks back in between 22 and 23. So he has a player option for next year for the 30 mil. I would be shocked if he both took it or didn't. And the reason I say that is because I just think in terms of I think he thinks his value is a lot more than it actually is. But here's the thing, I think a lot of players, I think a lot of people think their value is better than it actually is, and whatever it may be. Shout out the Cavs for already having a playoff berth. Wow, that's pretty crazy. But I think it is just a lot of it comes down to just certain feel of players. Should Jaylen Brown be getting paid probably $50-60 million? No. Should Jason Tatum? No. Should Nikola Jokic? No. In reality, none of these players should be making this. Julius Randle might make $100 million for a 4-year deal. I don't know. But I don't know. I just don't I'm not sure exactly. I don't really think he'll be back in Minnesota. I don't think he should. But it is what it is. For the Thunder, I'm not concerned. They didn't have Chet didn't play that night. It is what it is. Here's what I will talk about. MVP. Boom. Crazy topic. Have said on this podcast that I think SGA should win MVP. And I've taken it back. I'm taking it back. If I had a vote, and it would be like this for the rest of the season, if I had a vote, it'd go to Nikola Jokic. And here's why. What SGA does is incredible. It's awesome. Scoring 30 points a game with the amount of defense that he plays, sure, it's really good. And I know that's crazy for me to bring up defense when I know Nikola Jokic isn't that good of a defensive player. I'm aware. But the fact of the matter is this. I don't care. I really don't. We are talking about a top 15 player of all time. Right now. In the peak of their, in their prime offensive mastermind, era. And we are just putting that to the side. Sure, what SGA is doing hasn't been done since Jordan. But there is nobody who impacts their team winning more than Nikola Jokic. We gotta change. We gotta look at the rules. Gotta look at the rules. Okay? We can't look at this award and say, it's called the most valuable player. Okay? And in reality, it goes to the best player on the best team. Or best player on a good team. Or best player in the NBA. Most valuable. Let's do it. We're going to the Merriam-Webster. Thank you. America's most trusted dictionary. Find the definition of over 3 million words. Valuable. Nope, that's not how you spell valuable. That is. Okay. Okay. Valuable is an adjective. There are a couple different meanings. One of them is having monetary value, be worth a good price. 2A, having desirable or esteemed characteristics or qualities. B, of great use or service. Let's see. A person. Okay, this is when it's a noun. But I like in a noun, it's a usually personal possession, relatively great monetary value, usually used in the plural. But I think what we're really looking for is of great use or service. The Nuggets wouldn't be the 2 seed if Nikola Jokic wasn't there, and you could put any other star player there, they wouldn't. He's the best pass. He's one of the best passers in the league. He's one of the best just overall players in the league. SG is an incredible scorer. Wouldn't work in Denver, and I think the Nuggets, or I think the Thunder would be even better if they had Jokic, kind of thing. So that's just how I'm looking at it. Now, do I want to take that away from SGA's performance? No, I do not. 39 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists on 55% shooting is ungodly numbers. Those are unreal numbers. But I'm just putting my vote out there into the world on who I think should win MVP. So, go Jokic. All right, next game up, Tuesday, the 25th. The Boston Celtics defeated the Toronto Raptors 111-101. Derek White, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Peyton Pritchard, big night off the bench, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Jason Tatum, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. Scotty Barnes, and for the Raptors, Scotty Barnes, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. RJ Barrett, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Emmanuel Quickly, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Now, the Raptors always seem to play us tough, and I think a lot of it is just because, like, Scotty Barnes is, like, understands, like, this shit, or this game means more in this moment. He, like, the Celtics don't really, they don't try and go in with the mentality of it's just another game, like whatever. Like it's a divisional opponent. They always play you tough. It just is what it is. You know, no Jakob Poeltl for the Raptors meant the Celtics weren't going to play good anyway. And so with that, it's almost like you kind of get. Sorry, I was just giving my chair back. It's almost like you get the kind of relevance where it's like, I don't know if relevance is the right word. It's just more so like they're going to be fine. It's just JT didn't have the best shooting night. This was without. I want to say they didn't have everybody for this game. In fact, never mind. No, that's what it was. Porzingis and Holiday were late scratches, and then Horford didn't play. So I do think it is just like there are going to be nights where it's like the Celtics win by 30, and then there are going to be nights where they win by 10. I'm like a fan of Toronto's team. Like, I don't know why. It's just they have so many players who I'm like, I think that they could be good together. Where it's like RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Jakob Poeltl. Like, those are 5 guys who I really want to see do well together. And if I'm going back to Tankathon real quick just to see what the Raptors have in terms of motion, they have the 5 pick. That's great. That's all you really need right now. And so, yeah, I think it's just going to be like, wow, shout out the Celtics for being the only team other than the Pacers for having their own pick in the top 20 or in like the 20s. That's pretty crazy. If you want to be sure, like you can criticize Toronto for having really bad contracts, but it's like who doesn't have a bad contract? Like I feel like we always will look at like just like the good ones and just praise those for all that there are. But yeah, I mean, just a good win for the Celtics. But this isn't the game that I'm mainly going to talk about from Tuesday. The Los Angeles Lakers faced off against the Dallas Mavericks and defeated them 107-99. Pretty big game, especially because one of the top 5 players in the world just got traded from one of those teams and got traded to the other. And so yeah, Luka Doncic got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and he went pretty nuclear. Except for the shooting. 19 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks for the Slovenian. 35% of the field isn't great, but still. When you're able to do 15 rebounds and 12 assists with 3 steals, 2 blocks extra, you're a pretty good player. LeBron James, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. And then Austin Reeves, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists for the Lakers. And then for the Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, 35.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Klay Thompson, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Hi, Dunk. And then Max Christie, 10 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, and 1 block. Now, I mean, yeah, it's just, I think we're still all in shock from the Luka trade with like why the Mavericks doing this. I don't think we'll ever get the answer until something major happens in Dallas, like 5 or 10 years from now. I didn't watch a ton of this game because it was late, but it's just like the Lakers defense is getting it by for now. I think a lot of it was they were using AD as such a safety blanket. It wasn't like he's another player that we can trust on defense. It was no, we have him. We can just like let it go to him. Where I think now it's like the perimeter players are stepping up a lot more. I think like Rui Hachimura, I think Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt. Like I think these players are kind of stepping in and saying like, hey, I know what our defense needs to be. We know what our defense needs to be. Let's get it to the place that it should be. And I think that's where it's going. For the Mavericks, it's like I don't think anything could be getting worse. Like you like they don't have Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, or Anthony Davis for like the next or at least like next 2 weeks. And that's not good. Your number one center is Dwight Powell and Kessler Edwards. Like, I know that's not what you asked for, but that sucks. Like those are the two guys that you have to rely on now in terms of player depth. So, but no, like really good game. Luka had that yelling moment at the bench. I don't even know if he was really meaning to yell at the bench. I think he was more so sending a message through the bench to the other players, from the bench through the players into the corpus of Nico Harrison. And so, yeah, I will never understand that trade. I saw the quote from Dirk when he was talking about, he was like basically somebody asked him, it's like, why are you at the Luka's first game for the Lakers? He's like, I may be a Mavericks fan, but I'm a Luka fan. It's like, and I think that's great. I think that's great to see, but it's also just like, his intent wasn't for it to be this. It is also such a bad look for the Lakers, or not the Lakers. It's a great look for the Lakers. It's a horrible look for the Mavericks because we're going to look at this and say, all right, hey, like players supporting players. Yeah, that's great. And then it's like, oh, this guy didn't play a single like he's just like boys with this guy, and he really got boys with them because they played together and they thought that he was going to be the next him, and like whatever it may be. And so, yeah, I don't think Dirk was happy with the move. I don't really think anybody in the old regime of the Mavericks or who drafted Luka Doncic said, yeah, sweet, I'm down to make this trade. Let's do it. I'm all on board. Let's make it happen. So, yeah, it will be like one of the weirder trades. Shocking, absolutely. Weird, nonetheless. So, yeah. But the Lakers are rolling. They're finding their rhythm. They beat the Clippers last night, and I can actually pull up the stats real quick from that contest. I think LeBron did play. But, I mean, this is crazy. Like, the Clippers had two guys in the 20s, and then Harden with 18 and Chris Dunn with 14, and then, like, nothing really much else after that. And then it was like Luka had 31, LeBron had 28, and then it was like nobody else in double figures for the Lakers, and the Lakers win. Like, I think that's just like showing the power that those two guys have, just in regards of like the type of players that they are and like the amount that they can generate. It's pretty crazy. But yeah. But no, it was a good game. I think the real emotional waterworks and everything, the real show will be when Luka goes to Dallas. Because I think there will be a lot of cheers. There'll be a lot of cheers for Luka. And I think, I know he hasn't had the best shooting start, or really just overall best start. I think he's finally like getting it now. New play style, and also just trying to adjust to a whole new lifestyle, especially going from Dallas, Texas to LA. It's completely different. But no, like, he'll be fine. But no, I think the contest in Dallas will be a much more marquee matchup, at least in my opinion, at least. Next game, next day, Wednesday, the 26th, the Detroit Pistons defeated the Boston Celtics 117-97 in Detroit. This was for the Pistons to move on to an 8-game win streak. Malik Beasley led the way with 26 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Cade Cunningham, 21.4 rebounds, 11 assists. Tobias Harris, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And for the Celtics, Jason Tatum, 27.6 rebounds, 3 assists. Peyton Pritchard, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And Derek White, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. This one was without Jalen. I want to say at least Jalen. Just Jalen. Yeah, just Jalen. KP didn't play well, neither did Drew or Al or whatever it may be. Hi, Dunk. I know, I said hi. But no, not a great game for the Celtics, but I'm mainly just going to point out how much the Pistons have really flourished this year. They've already passed their win total from last season. That should go down and show you just how good this team really can be. Their engine is Cade Cunningham for obvious reasons. He is one of the best distributors, one of the best playmakers in the NBA. But the signing, honestly, getting the three biggest acquisitions were Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, and JB Bickerstaff. They were damn near dead last in the NBA in offensive rating. They're near the middle of the road this year. Same thing with defensive rating. They're in the middle of the road this year. They are playing at the level. JB Bickerstaff brought in a culture to this is the prime example when I say a culture matters in a team. It's like being able to have like a culture of winning or toughness or just like something or like 3-point shooting, whatever it may be. Like the Warriors is 3-point shooting. Like the Celtics is winning. For the Pistons, it's toughness, and we're getting that now. We're getting it back. It's coming back into the world, and it's good to see. Like Bickerstaff had the spot. I can't remember. I think he might have gotten let go by Cleveland, but it's like it wasn't like he was like the reason that they lost to the Celtics last year. I don't think it was. It was the fact I'd probably more attribute it to being like Donovan Mitchell was hurt for some games, Evan Mobley wasn't always there, and Darius Garland was hurt. So I'd equate it to more of that than I would say of like, oh, I think it's JB Bickerstaff's fault. But in reality, I think Bickerstaff is a great coach. I think he's a player's coach. He wants what's best from it. He wants the best from his guys. But it is the entirety of the aspect of he is doing such a good job with that team. He is like making them believe in what he is saying they are doing, and they are believing in it. Cade Cunningham is playing like an MVP candidate. Now hold on. I know what you're gonna do before you click off. Just hear me out. He is playing like somebody who should be in contention for an MVP. Because let's be real. Let's think about the definition of MVP real quick. Valuable. There is nobody more valuable, or there are not many more valuable players in the NBA than Cade Cunningham is to the Pistons right now. Okay? Nobody had the Pistons in the playoffs this year. Nobody. And if you did, you're a sicko. I'd love to see who else you had, because that's just sicko behavior. Cade Cunningham deserves to be in those conversations. I'm not saying he should win them. I'm not saying that at all. Again, he shouldn't even be top 3, but he should damn near be top 10. Duncan, how are you? Duncan brought in this toy. But teams are going to start looking at the Pistons, especially next year, because sure, they don't have their pick. That's not great. I thought they had their pick. No, Minnesota gets their pick. But it's just, I think moving, they only have one I think they only have one guaranteed pick. Now, it would have been their pick if they had finished first through the 13th, 1 through 13. And so they very much had I wouldn't really worry about their assets too much. I know they're going to pay Cade. I think they already have, and he deserves it for sure. But it very much is just who is that next piece to really bring them into that next tier? Is it Cade just developing more? Is it just this, that, whatever it may be? I'm very excited to see it, because I think Bickerstaff, he went from a really good job to a much lesser job that he made, which he probably was getting criticized for when it was happening. He was they're really, you're gonna take this job? But he is proving it, man. He is really proving it. He is proving what this team can do. He's showing out and saying, hey, I'm one of the better coaches in the league. And sure, it's tough to see it and say it's tough to look at the Cavs and say oh, you how can you say you weren't the problem when they're 49-10 or something? But it's just injuries happen, and he's just having too good of a year, the Pistons are, to where I'm a lot of it is because of JB Bickerstaff. He has brought in an identity to that team, and the identity is, hey, we're pretty fucking good. So, excuse my French. Oh my God. I think that's the first time I really cursed. I've said like poop on here, but anyway. A couple more games to go through. The Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Denver Nuggets 121-1 Thursday, the 27th. High dunk. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 28 points, 19 rebounds, 7 assists. Kyle Kuzma, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And Brook Lopez, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. The Bucks are playing really well. Do I think they make it past the second round? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think they're going to make it the Eastern Conference Finals. Because here's the thing. If there is anybody to match up against Giannis, it is Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Or it's Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. If there's anybody to match up against Mobley and Allen, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez. I can't forget about glorious Brook Lopez. Like, if you want somebody quicker, you put Mobley on him. But guess what? Giannis is just going to back him down and be a little bit stronger. If you want the strength, boom, you can put Jared Allen on him, but he can just blow by. The Bucks have gotten extremely close both times when playing the Cavs. It's just been like Donovan Mitchell hits a game-winning shot, and then Damian Lillard just might miss a game winner. I think those are like two, or at least that's like what the results came down to in like the first two matchups when it was like kind of still early in the season. And so I think we're at the point where we're really seeing like what the rosters will be. And I think if there was going to be a team, quite possibly, if there was going to be a team that beats the Cavs, it might be the Bucks, which is pretty shocking. But like Giannis is Giannis. Like when you come to the playoffs, the cream rises to the top. Giannis is the cream. He is the cream, and he will rise. And so it's how will a team like the Cavs respond to that? That's when we talk about or when people talk about how playoff basketball is so different, it really is like it's the response more than anything. It's not like it's like, all right, you dropped a game. If you don't respond now, you guys are kind of done for. A two game deficit is a lot more daunting than a one. Because 2 can turn to 3 before, but it also can turn to 1. But a 3 can't turn to 1, unfortunately. But Kyle Kuzma has really been playing well. I haven't seen too many Bucks games to where I'm like, I'm like all in on the Kyle Kuzma train. It was shocking to see that they moved on from Middleton, though. It was the one that made the most sense, but it was still shocking. For the Nuggets, I mean, they've been playing really well. They're second in the West now. They come to Boston on Sunday to play against the Celtics, which I think that will be a really good game. Joker, crazy game, 32 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. 32 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, sorry. Jamal Murray, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and Christian Brown, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. I just think with this team, a lot of it is the balance. How is Jokic going to not only get his, but also look for the others? And I think that's where we get like the 30 and 15, 30 points, 10 rebounds, and the 15 assist games more than we get like the 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assist games. Because if they want to win, they need those assists, and a lot of it is coming from the generation of Jokic. So, final game, and then I'm going to close up shop for the night. But we had a really good one. The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Boston Celtics 123-116. I didn't watch a ton of this because I went to a BC hockey game with my tried including brother and dad into a single word, and I almost created Brad. But I went to a BC hockey game with my brother and my dad. Shout out to AJ and Big Mike. That was a lot of fun. But we were also watching some of the Celtics game while it was happening. Here's my overarching thoughts before I go into this. I'm not worried about the Cavs. The only thing I'm worried about is Donovan Mitchell. Let's look it up. Highest points per game versus the Celtics in NBA history. Okay, so it is official. With the 41-point performance last night, Donovan Mitchell passes Michael Jeffrey Jordan with the highest point total against the Boston Celtics with 30.8. Do we all see the point I'm trying to get at here? I think it's a little bit concerning that we are playing a guy who loves to kick our ass, just simple as that. But no, whoa! I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It was second and everything. But no, just Jason Tatum was 13th in the league in averaging assists. It's pretty cool. But it's just like he takes over the game against whenever they play the Celtics. It was him with 41, and then there wasn't anybody else. Like Darius Garland cracked 20, and then it was like Mobley with 17, Hunter with 12, and then Jerome with 8, Allen with 10. Like if the thing is, Celtics win this game if it was a normal Donovan Mitchell night, but unfortunately it wasn't. He led the way for the Cavs, 41 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Evan Mobley, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and Darius Garland, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. They're a well-oiled machine. They're moving in the right direction, and they're playing the right kind of basketball. It's as simple as that. The Cavs are really good. But I just don't know if they have the consistency for a 7-game series to beat the Boston Celtics right now. If they do it, then they do it, and I'll give my props to them when it happens. But it is what it is. For the Celtics, I mean, arguably, Jason Tatum's best game of his career. He was 1 assist away from a triple-double, from a 45-point triple-double. 46 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 blocks on 51% shooting. Jaylen Brown played really well, really great as well. 37 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And Derek White, 16 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 3 steals. No Drew, no KP. Those are the first 2 things I'm going to say. If they were playing, Celtics win this game. If the Celtics got normal production from their bench, Celtics win this game. Like Luke Cornett didn't get a basket. Peyton Pritchard shot 2 of 4 from the field, had 6 points. Sam Hauser, 2 of 8, had 6 points. Like if we had our other 2 guys, if we had KP and Drew, I think we win that game. But all in all, a really good game. It was just like battle between the 2 teams. It's just the concerning part was like if you take out the 3 main guys who I just named, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White, I think in which they combined for 99 points. Yeah, that checks out. The Celtics had 17 points other than those 3 guys, and it's like, so that's not great. It's not great, but I think in a full matchup, I do feel confident that the Celtics can win this one. But shout out the Cavs. Really good ball. I mean, yeah, that's the end of the episode. I love you all. This isn't the end of Triple Threat Talk. Do not worry. Again, we're going to see for this week and next week for sure. Or at least for this week for sure. Maybe next week. We're going to, I don't know. We'll see how one a week goes, see how it feels. If it is like too much, it's weird to say if there's too much happening, then I'm going to go back to 2. But maybe just shorter episodes with 2. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, love you all. Talk to you all on the next episode. Peace out.